Hey guys, happy Tube Tuesday. It's me, Moon Pies, brought to you by netstories.com. Tube Tuesday is back. I told you to be back last Tuesday. Didn't you get the memo? Anyway, I went to YouTube Creator Day in Miami a few days ago, and YouTube Creator Day is something that basically YouTube, the Google people, they set up, or is it Alphabet yet? I don't know. Alphabet or Google sets up these YouTube Creator Days all around the country, possibly the world. I am so misinformed, and they finally came down to Miami, and I was really looking forward to them being in my hometown, and I was invited, which was awesome. So I got to rub elbows with some of my fellow YouTubers, but also soak in what YouTube had to say about ways to get your video more noticed, how to make more money on the site, just little marketing and campaign and creative strategies. Basically what I've been doing on my channel for like the last 7-8 years. Except these guys sound more official because they are more official. They look better on the camera. They sound better, and they're actually coming straight from the horse's mouth. So there was a lot of great stuff given away. Now, some of the stuff they told us not to share, and I'm not going to break those rules. They just showed us what the app is going to look like in the future. We dove into some analytics things that they sort of said to keep under wraps. But everything else they said to share away. So I'm going to share exactly what we had at the very end. We had a breakout session. We broke up into different groups. And we went over the 10 traits, the 10 fundamentals of a successful YouTube campaign. And this is very important stuff for you because basically most of the more successful YouTube people actually use at least most of these things they have working for them. So check them out and see if you can actually apply them to what you're trying to get launched here. Number one is shareability. Can your video be shared? And I don't mean just that you made it available to share by clicking that option on YouTube and made it embeddable in all different devices and stuff like that outside of YouTube, but is it something that is worth sharing? Is the quality of the video good? I mean, shareability, if it's viral, if you have a funny cat or if a pratfall or something like amazing happens, obviously that's going to be shared. But a video on its own, whether it's a vlog or a recipe or anything that you're doing or a gaming vlog, is it shareable? Is it cool enough that people want to share it to other people? Put yourself in the perspective of the people trying to share your videos. Why would they share your video? Why would they put it on their Facebook feeds, on their Twitter feeds? Think about stuff like that, because that's what really actually expands your video beyond your subscribers. 2, conversation. Is there an element of the video that you're making that will get people to talk about stuff? Basically anything that kind of ends with a question or something that's just topical and stuff that will get people buzzing on the message boards afterwards, on the actual comment section rather, about talking about your videos. Something that maybe you said that's different than what they're used to seeing, or something provocative. Provocative is always good. Always. 3, interactivity. And this relates sort of to conversation. Is your video interactive? And of course, always in the early days of YouTube, you always notice some of the bigger vloggers, they would ask like a question, hey, what do you guys think of my video? Or hey, what do you think I should do next? Or that almost sounded like Phil DeFranco, but I don't do impressions. But basically, you would have questions and stuff like that. People find ways to start an interactive with people. And I mean, you could use obviously cards and annotations and other gimmicks to get people to interact deeper inside your channel. But this is just a way to just interact with you, the person. And even if you're not vlogging, if you're actually just putting like a recipe, ask people to share their recipe tips. If you're actually doing travel stuff, feel free to ask people interesting places that they may have traveled. Whatever you're doing, obviously there's questions that would lead to other interactive things. Not just the conversation aspect of it, but to interact with you, to be able to, you can actually take some concept and use that to apply it, and apply it to other videos in the future. Number 4, consistency. Does the show have strong recurring elements? And Tube Tuesday, I think, used to have that, maybe around 2011, 2012, 2013, the wheels started to fall off. 2014, it was like pretty much up on the blocks. In 2015, I'm relaunching it. But yeah, it's something like what Tube Tuesday is, where you have every set Tuesday, you have an actual way. One thing that the guy who was heading up our breakout session told us is that if you stick to the same time, your video's putting out like the same time each week or something like that, YouTube, the algorithm of YouTube somehow magically knows and expect that, and they'll be ready for it. Whatever that means. They get very cryptic about some stuff, but that's what they said about having consistency. And it's also good for your viewers to know, hey, it's Tuesday. I don't mind saying one of my favorite channels is Attractions, Florida Attractions. It's actually Attractions on Twitter, and they actually have a Thursday show where it's like all the news about theme park news and stuff like that. So I know it's Thursday. I know somewhere Thursday in the morning around 10 or 11 it's going to go live. I can just go check it out. So that is consistency. Targeting. Is your intended audience clearly defined? Now, I think Tube Tuesday, the name itself isn't really that clearly defined, but obviously anyone who's checked out the videos have known the subject matter of all these Tube Tuesday videos, which is about getting noticed on the site and getting better, more exposed and stuff like that. It's a pretty consistent message. So make sure whatever you're doing that you're actually reaching the right audience. If you're actually making gaming videos, like video game videos, you don't want to actually be, doing recipes, or the other way around. You want to have a straight message and know that you're targeting the actual audience that you really want, your desirable demographics. 6, sustainability. I'm sorry. If the audience loves what you're doing, can you give them more? And I think that's what happens. A lot of stuff. The one thing that brought up was the Charlie bit my finger. Obviously that where the little kid bites his older brother's finger. And they show that example of something that was great, but there was nowhere you can go from there. Unlike, let's say, maybe like the freak out videos from a Waffle Pwned, where it's guy has a freak out, and whether it's staged or not, who knows? But there's been, almost 3 dozen videos since then, all basically following that same theme. So try to get something that's sustainable, something you can keep going. With Tube Tuesday, I always thought, maybe there'll come a time where I'll run out of stuff to say, and maybe that did happen. Maybe that's sort of why the series sort of just started running off the rails, but so much has happened in so many different ways you can apply to what's happening on YouTube, since it changes dynamically every passing day. I shouldn't be able to run out of stuff, and neither should you. So make sure what you're actually specializing on is sustainable. It's not just these are the complete works of J. Alfred Prufrock or something like that. I know that's a character, not a person, but whatever. My wife's English major, not me. So just find something that you can actually keep going, sustainable. One of the coolest things about it, about actually the Creators Day in Miami a few days ago, was that I got to hang out with some of my fellow YouTubers, including one, which was I'll give a shout out, Couch Tomato, who was one of the most. I mean, he had 247,000 subscribers as of a couple weeks ago. He does movie reviews, really cool movie reviews where he compares 2 different things and stuff like that. Got to talk a little while, and the coolest thing is he actually saw some of my original YouTube Tuesday videos when he was just getting started. So I feel almost like, not like a mentor, because here I am with 15,000 subscribers and someone with 247,000 subscribers. It's like, the apprentice is long past the master. But it was cool to see people that actually remembered, actually saw a Tube Tuesday series, and especially the one who's been so successful that he has. And basically what he's done is the sustainability. He has this one movie review thing where he can actually compare different things, 24 things compared to something or the other, and he can just keep repeating it over and over. If you find that, if you can make new videos, you don't want to be stale, but make something new out of something, go for it. It's what people will know you for. It's what makes the site work. It's what the big people do on YouTube. Number 7, discoverability. Will the videos show up on trending and common searches? And a lot of times, you don't want to play that game. You're thinking, I'm just making this video because I want to. But you know what? People out there are actually trending. Today it's Tube Tuesday. Today's Stephen Colbert's first show. So many other things happening this specific Tuesday where people are going to be looking for these things. If your video can address that in any way, whether it's something that just in passing or something, you don't want to game people into thinking that, oh, this is a video about Colbert's show. No, it's not. It's not. Good luck, Stephen Colbert. But anything that you're doing will actually try to make it trendy to something that's happening, something that when people search for stuff will be able to be, your video will apply there. And find a way to make it valuable, no matter what you're doing. No matter what you're doing, whether it's a recipe or a travel thing or just a video game video or your hunting or your sports, extreme sports. If you slap it on the GoPro, just make it something, try to find something that's happening, trending, topical, and make it work. Because that's what people are really looking for on YouTube. And accessibility. Can every episode be appreciated without prior context? So in other words, this is Tube Tuesday, and you could show up into a video from 4 years ago, Tube Tuesday, and that could be in of itself is a message. This is all 10 video tips on how to get 10 traits of successful campaigns. Anything you do is cool, but make sure that you can actually have beginning to end. Obviously, if you're doing like a short movies and it's like a long movie and you're breaking up into clips, or you're like a show or a series, something like that, you may have to be challenged, especially if it's a plot-driven series. But for the most part, you really want to be. This isn't House of Cards. This isn't Narcos. Great series on Netflix if you haven't seen it. But you actually get around it and making each self-contained, juicy nugget where no one feels at the beginning, oh, I'm like out of place because I didn't take 3, 4, 5 videos. And if you do that, then just put a card at the beginning or an annotation at the beginning of your video to get people to find the earlier stuff that they need to read in order to get back to speed, which can help you with your views, but ideally you want the video to be able to stand on its own. 9, collaboration. Is there room for featured guests? And of course, with collaboration, I mean, I had a collaboration video many years back where I had some people share YouTube tips, and I had some really great people help out. Thank you guys. And maybe I'll do something like that, but also sort of collaboration. I guess I had the workshop, I think 2012, was it? In 2013, 2012 maybe, where I went through different, like 10, 12 different channels that people wanted their videos reviewed, and I gave them tips on a one-to-one basis and turned that into a video, so that was sort of a collaboration, except they didn't really have to participate, but their channels did. But see if you can find people that work in your field, and ideally people that are getting more successful and more views than you, if they can find a way to work a video with you. But even if they can't, because obviously everyone's looking for someone that's above them to help them on the way up, find someone that's on your level, even someone that's below your level as far as number of subscribers go, because sometimes they have a really magnetic, captive audience that you can add to them and they can add to you. It's the way the game is played. And finally, inspiration. Is there genuine passion in what you're doing? Is what your videos you're making something that you feel strong about, not just something that, oh, I think I can make a quick buck off this? Because if you actually feel inspired, and I've always felt inspired about empowering the YouTube community, way back from the original how to make $1 million on YouTube or whatever it was, that the video itself got more than 1 million views over time. But I was generally passionate about doing what no one else was doing at the time on YouTube, which was helping you out, helping you get better on YouTube. Because people were out there in the wild, they really had nowhere to go. Now there's a lot of YouTube, official Google, YouTube, Alphabet, Google, YouTube, ways and tips and stuff like that, and community boards. But back then when it wasn't, this was something that really mattered, and I was generally passionate about getting people who thought, hey, this could be a cottage industry to get up off their bootstraps and do something with their videos. So that's the 10 great ways, 10 fundamental traits of a successful YouTube campaign. And this is Moon Pies. I am here with another Tube Tuesday, and I'll be back next week. Yes, next week. And the video won't be this long, but I won't promise I won't go to 10 things. See you soon.